picking up all the shares, buying the shares, buying the shares, buying the shares, until he owned everything. And he owned so much in that he effectively created an infinity squeeze.
Today I'm going to be going over AMC and GME stock and why I am 100% certain in my head. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed. None of this is financial advice, but I am convinced that next week is going to be insane for AMC and GME stock. Before I do get into why I believe that though, make sure to go down and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Only about 30% of you guys watching my videos are actually subscribed. I don't know if you guys know where this jacket is from and the red glasses. I got a lot of comments about it in my last video. It is my Halloween costume, Tyler Durden, Fight Club. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch the movie. It's a classic. But yeah, I'm gonna pull up to a Halloween party later tonight, get down and celebrate because I bought some more GameStop call options today, expiring on November 15th, $22 calls. I bought another 5 contracts. I've just been loading into this because I really do believe something is about to pop. Now, GameStop did close red today, down 6 cents, down less than 0.5%, and we did get a nice pop in the middle of the day to $21.43. This happened because millions of dollars were poured into call options for GameStop, most of them expiring next month. So people are very optimistic on GameStop. People are very bullish for GameStop, and they have every reason to be bullish, guys. Right now, the Moass catalyst is the kitty. It is the kitty. I mean, he's the one that caused this to go from $10 to $80. He is more powerful than any hedge fund, and I believe he is going to come back next week. He might not, you know? Nothing might happen. I could be totally wrong. That's why none of this is financial advice. It's all a risk. It's all a huge, giant risk. But no risk, no Ferrari. If you're scared to lose money, you already lost. That's just it. Now, I would recommend buying shares, obviously. If you really have never traded options in your life, just buy shares. But if I was buying shares, I would buy AMC shares, to be honest. $4.30, I think, is an absolute steal. You know, this was at an all-time high of $720 at one point. Q3 earnings is coming up in about 2 weeks, and it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. You got movies like Inside Out 2, Deadpool and Wolverine. It's going to be a big, profitable quarter for AMC. What do you think is going to happen? I'm not going to lie. It's still risky. It's still risky because AMC always falls on earnings. It never fails. So I'm not going to be surprised even if this gets rug pulled the day of earnings. But I'm also not going to be surprised if November 6th comes around and AMC announces they just made $100 million in profit. Investors buying like crazy and it just causes a gamma squeeze past $10. That's over 120%. If you buy call options, that's a 10x. Easily. And, you know, like I said, none of this is financial advice. You guys do whatever you want with your money. I have a feeling. And we're going to get into why I just got chills, you know, when I was doing some research on GameStop. Why I just got chills. Before we do get into that, look at the RSI right here. We're in a very important spot on the RSI. If you bring it up, right now it's chilling at around 42. This indicator right here is going to determine where GameStop goes. If we can rise back past 50 on the RSI, we're going to explode. We are going to go to Valhalla. We're going to go up 100% easily. And that's if we just break out to 50. If the RSI could break past 70 like it did back in June, on June 6th, and back on May 14th, I think we're going to the hundreds. I really do think we're going to the hundreds if it goes past 70 one more time. And that's just my opinion. That is just my opinion. And it could happen in 2 days. It could happen in less than 48 hours. We saw it happen in less than 48 hours here. I mean, what has happened ever since Roaring Kitty has came back? It's just been a giant bull flag. One giant bull flag. And it's getting to that point in time where it's showtime. It is freaking showtime, guys. So this guy said a reminder that half of Kitty's charts come to an end on Monday, right before Cat Day. So what is October 28th? October 28th is the day before National Cat Day. National Cat Day. What is National Cat Day? National Cat Day is on Tuesday, October 29th of 2024. National Cat Day is celebrated annually on October 29th. In 2024, this delightful day falls on a Sunday, providing a wonderful opportunity to celebrate and pamper your feline companions. I thought it said felon right there. Freaking cast letter felons, that's clownery. But historically speaking, over the past 4 years, ever since Roaring Kitty became a thing, GameStop always ran the week of Halloween, the week of National Cat Day. Halloween might be irrelevant in this situation. It might be National Cat Day. Who knows? It might be the election. Who knows? It's all speculation. It's all tinfoil hat theory. That's all it is. But I'm jacked to the freaking tits. I am jacked to the tits just looking at this on my screen. If you want to doubt the kitty, you could do that. I'm just saying, historically speaking, the week of Halloween, GameStop runs for the past 4 years all in a row. And I think this one can be the final nail in the coffin for all these hedge funds bastards. All these hedge fund criminals, especially Jim Cramer, that sick bastard. So this guy said, Roaring Kitty telling a story about 2 people buying all the shares of a heavily shorted company on the down low to cause an infinity squeeze while wearing a bunch of flags. So this is a very interesting video. I already watched it, but I'm gonna go ahead and watch it one more time with you guys. Let's watch this together. Because, I mean, it is National Cat Day coming up, and this is just freaking huge.
Berkshire video where he told a story about a railroad where 2 people owned over 100% of the company and caused a squeeze. But that was back in the day. If y'all don't, so everyone's been talking about the VW Porsche squeeze. There's other squeezes out there. Another prominent one is this railroad one that Steve is talking about. But it was related. I didn't know it was it was Vanderbilt. If I recall correctly, it was the Vanderbilts. There were 2 railroads that went into, I think, Manhattan. I think they went into Manhattan, and at the time they weren't very well used or all that profitable. But they were the only railroads that went into. I think it was Manhattan. Do a Google search. Let me know if I'm wrong. And he noticed that he started buying up shares on the DL. And what happened was that there was a there was a ton of people shorting the stock of one of these railroads. And it was people on the inside. It was like people on the board of directors and people on the city council who knew that they were going to pull the permit for this railroad, right? They knew that they were going to do this. And they were shorting the company, which of course is illegal now, right? You wouldn't be able to do that. But they were doing it at the time. And what happened? They were shorting a shit ton of it, right? And I'm pretty sure it was Vanderbilt just picking up all the shares, buying the shares, until he owned everything. And he owned so much in that he effectively created an infinity squeeze, and so that he had them dead to rights, where he said, "Well, I own you now." I mean, they couldn't close the positions, right? And so they would have to pay whatever price he wanted to sell them to, right? That's the infinity squeeze. But the deal was, you give back the permits, make sure that they have them. Well, anyway, they did pull the permits. The stock price collapsed. But as it was collapsing, Vanderbilt was on the side buying up the shares. Boom, 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 buying them up. And then when it was revealed he had it, there was nothing they could do because he bought up all that shit. And they couldn't get out. And so the trade-off was that they give him the permit, and then he owned that whole company, and it turned out to be super profitable, right? Because eventually it came around that it was a valuable railroad to own. But there was a second railroad, too, that was a very similar. Then they figured Vanderbilt was out of money. And so that they attacked that railroad too, that second one. They both started with H's, I recall. And they both started going after that one. And they shorted the shit. And they figured out Vanderbilt doesn't got any money. But he was like, yo, buy up this one too. Let's go. And he had some of his, I guess some of his friends or whatever. I forget the exact story. But then they started buying up all the shares. Then it was the same shit. He was like, yo, we got this company too. And they were like, what the hell's going on here? Yeah, look that one up. Everyone, myself included, we're always...
Wow, so that is Roaring Kitty himself wearing a bunch of flags, talking about an infinity squeeze, and it makes you wonder, it makes you wonder if he's had this planned all along. Why did he come back in 2024? Is it the election year? I don't know. If you really think about it, it feels like with a person that made $47 million in, less than a year, he had to have some sort of plan. And I feel like the conclusion of his plan is coming very, very soon. And I could be wrong. I mean, it's a tinfoil hat theory. That's all it is. It's a theory. It's not real. Anything could happen over the next week. GameStop could come crashing down. If the RSI comes down below 30, we could see GameStop in the $15 range. It's possible. It's on the table. Do I think it's going to happen? No. I mean, I have my basically life savings loaded into AMC and GME stock. That's how much I believe in this. That's how much I believe it's going to happen. This guy said if there was ever a time to speculate on a GameStop pop again, it is right here, right now. Like I said, everyone's drawn out this triangle here. It's getting tight. If we zoom out on the yearly chart, it's just one giant bull flag. And it looks like it's ready to spring into the $100 level once again. If you're loaded into call options, and that does happen, obviously the chances of it happening are like, pretty risky. Might not happen, but just the fact that there's a chance. I mean, at this point, we're all gambling addicts. We are all gambling addicts, and this is the best game. This is the best game in the casino, in my opinion. Really. But I like the chances of a Moass happening. I really do. It's not every day where the best trader in history comes out and says, oh yeah, I bought 9 million shares of GameStop. The last thing he posted was him getting bored of Chewy. What do you think he did with that money? I think he bought more. And if he just reveals that to the people, no one knows if he bought more. No one knows. He hasn't posted his portfolio in over 120 days, in over 4 months. But if he does reveal that, it's game over. It is game over. The amount of people that are going to buy in GameStop if they see that the kitty bought more, you guys already know. You guys already know what I'm talking about. The volume, I wouldn't even be surprised if 1 billion shares are traded in one day. I would not be surprised if it gets to that point and it causes an infinity squeeze. It is extremely possible. I wouldn't doubt it whatsoever. But that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did make it to the end of the video and you haven't subscribed yet, what the heck are you guys doing? Make sure to go down and subscribe. And let me know what you thought about what Roaring Kitty had to say. He talked about an infinity squeeze happening to 2 different railroad companies while he was wearing a bunch of flags around his face. Makes you wonder if he's had this all planned out for a very long time. He could have been planning this for 4 years. And his plan is just coming to life day by day. Judgment Day could be any day, guys. So obviously none of this is financial advice. I'm not telling anyone to buy, sell, or hold. I did buy some more November 15th calls today when GameStop dropped back down from $21. And I saw it as a steal. I saw it as an opportunity. I could be wrong. I could lose all my money. It is a risk I am willing to take. And that's just it. No risk, no Ferrari. But I will keep you guys updated on what happens with AMC and GME stocks. So make sure to stay tuned on my channel. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. As y'all know, I'm buying the dip.
Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, here we go.